and welcome to the Video Gamer UK podcast. My name is Simon Miller, and today I'm joined by Mr. David Scammell.
I like the little arm movement. Very good.
You know, got to be powerful in this room. Mr. Steve Burns.
Yep.
And a very special guest is our first as live Video Gamer Community Club member, Tom Blake.
Hiya.
How you doing, dude? You all right?
Hello.
Yeah, good, yeah.
Here we go.
As Tom Blake has discovered this morning, as you can discover if you'd like to join the Video Gamer Community Club and pay whatever you got to pay, it's a very budget operation here, but fuck it, we get it done.
No, that's a lie, Miller. It's just because people who are idiots,
Good budget.
who don't work here anymore, had a
That's
bit of a
fine.
habit of letting their
That's
fucking
true, actually.
headphones roll under their chairs.
No
About-
respect for technology.
Exactly.
That is what I would say.
Exactly.
But hey, we're here. We're back. We're another week. I'm very excited that we've got this rolling. Tom was on the last one, and now we've got another Tom on this one.
Yeah.
all
So
the
it's just-
Toms.
yeah, the Toms are here.
Popular now.
We are going to get into the games we've been playing, but what we want to start talking about, as Mr. David Scammell very intelligently brought up as he came into this room,
Oh, yeah.
is that right now, as compared to a couple of years ago when this was not the case, or a year and a half ago, or whatever, Xbox One right
5
now is
days
cheaper than any other console.
Wow, well, that's a lie.
Hyperbole there from Simon Jeremy Miller. But, hey, I've got
cheaper than
to
a Mega
get
Drive.
people in, I've got to get people ready.
That's not quite true.
It's pretty cheap though.
But it's well cheap.
How cheap is it? I don't know about this.
Well, one retailer dropped it to $240.
Is that just for the bank holiday weekend? Or is that now it is £240?
I think that was just bank holiday. I
Right,
think a
okay.
lot of retailers, their promotions are like till April 16th or something like that. So it's
Right.
only a temporary thing. But like Asda, $250 with Halo and the new X-Men Blu-ray,
Really?
It's like-
How much is the PS4 at the moment?
$350.
So for
Fucking Nora.
for $250, you can get a rubbish console, a game that doesn't work, and a shit film.
No, but do you know what?
Fucking yes.
No, the X-Men
Sign
film
me
good,
up.
isn't it? The X-Men film was good.
Days of Future
I
Past.
thought it was good. I haven't seen it. I was told it's good. 'Cause
Yeah,
the
but it's
first-
an X-Men film. It's not going to be that good, is
Yeah,
it?
fair
People
play.
like X.
What about X-Men?
People like X-Men 2
Like
is amazing.
Xbox.
X-Men 2
Maybe that's
is
the tie-in.
terrible.
Tom, do you like X-Men?
I haven't seen Days of Future Past.
But do you like X-Men in general? Don't worry about Burns. They'll come at you for anything.
I don't know, they're all right.
What was the one
Exactly.
before Days of
Marvel
Future
thing.
Past? That was a good movie.
First Class.
First Class was a good movie, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah, see,
pretty
Tom.
good.
I saw X-Men The Last Stand, so X-Men 3 in the cinema.
That's bad, right?
And it has that amazing moment where on the Golden Gate Bridge, and it's broad daylight, and then it cuts back, and then no time has passed, and now it's night time. You're like, for fuck's
My-
sake.
Damn right.
My first date with my ex-girlfriend was X-Men 2.
Really?
Yeah.
But that's a good movie.
She wanted to see...
Of course it is.
What was the film? How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Classic.
And I was like, I ain't seen that.
Classic
It's
film.
rubbish. So being the gentleman that I was, I made her see X-Men 2.
Said I bought the tickets. I went into the wrong screen. That's a very weird film.
You know what? How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is better.
How
Should have gone and saw that.
Possible, yeah.
How much is an Xbox One today, as of right now, if I go onto Amazon?
You can go
Is this an infomercial?
Yeah.
You can have it today.
Well, they seem to change per retailer, but I think
Yeah.
Asda has them with the best deal. It's $249. That
You can
X-Men.
get that right now.
Right
just
now, yeah. It's for the next
flipping
week
heck.
or so.
That's pretty
But is it going to work, though? I mean, is it going to work? I mean, there you go. Look, Tom, we don't know much about in terms of your console ownership. What do you own? You got everything. You
Oh, yeah, I got everything. yeah.
Okay, now do you favour your PS4 over your Xbox One?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Now, why is that?
I don't know. It feels like every time I go on my Xbox, I feel like it's like sucking my soul out. Like,
I
don't know why, it just
people
feels
come at
like-
us. This is the third party, and he agrees.
I just don't like anything about it.
What about
I just go
last
on
gen?
there and
Fucking
Were
yes.
you PS3 or a 360?
I was 360.
There you
See,
go.
and this is
Yeah.
what everyone's done. This is what I've done. And we're going a bit off tangent here, but who cares? Like, and I said it's generally what happened. Obviously, you had PS2, you know, the Conqueror, the Beast Incarnate, all that
It
kind of
was,
stuff.
but I was still an Xbox boy back then.
I know, but that was the machine. That was when, you know, in sort of everyday lingo, do you play PlayStation? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then it switches to Xbox 360 and you think, man, you know, Sony fucked it. And then Microsoft, I know this is nothing new, but somehow decided, well, let's be like Sony. And they've completely, and it's
It's
Microsoft's
amazing,
fault.
isn't it? It
It's
is
not, Sony
amazing.
just did everything simple. They kept it simple. Whereas Microsoft, we're getting really complicated and weird. And now it's switched back. And I find that preposterous. And everyone in this room agrees. I don't own an Xbox One. So I don't need an Xbox One right now.
No.
You own an Xbox One, Bin?
I would rather
You do,
kill
don't you?
I've
myself.
had them both since launch. And you know what? At launch, I was still buying multi-platform stuff on Xbox One because I used to love achievements.
Yeah.
But they're just...
But that's dead as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
The whole idea of
Yeah.
achievements is just... I mean, I was never obsessed with them, but they were a wonderful extra to a game. Like when they unlocked, I was in...
But again, they made them too complicated. Well, not complicated. They just pushed them further than they needed to.
They evolved
Like, you
something
get
that needs to be
achievements for
evolved.
watching Netflix. Oh, it just
Fuck's sake.
things like that.
wants
It's
that?
like
That
it
is
just.
shit house, isn't it?
There you go.
So
yeah.
does the price drop give the Xbox One? Because at the moment, the general consensus is that Sony is winning and Microsoft is struggling. Not losing, they're still doing well. Does this price drop give them the opportunity to change that? Round table, starting with you, Dave.
To a degree, yeah. I mean, but when you think about, it's only £50 more than they want for their 360 bundles at the moment. 10-year-old
true?
consoles, £50 difference.
That's insane.
Between their top end bundles, like the Halo bundle is what they probably could, the ones without Kinect at least, is what they would push as their main bundle at the moment.
Yeah.
And the 360 the bundle is like with FIFA or something for 200 quid. And you're like, this is insane.
That's
like
mad.
10-year console is £50 cheaper.
I don't know.
I don't know, but it makes you think, like, I guess, how desperate are they to lower it by that much? And is it going to get to that point? Because Microsoft aren't going to want to be behind PlayStation for a long time. And if it continues to be behind PS4, which, let's be honest, it probably will be, because there is this general sense that if you want a next-gen console, I think the vast amount of people want a PS4, really. But will they cut the generation short? Because that was the reason that 360 continued for, 10 years almost, because they could keep the price up because everyone still wanted them. They had huge margins on them, I imagine. Whereas now, what's the margin on Xbox One? Are they back to being lost leaders on them again? Are they cut them beyond the cost price?
I think perception is the biggest problem, I think, at the moment. I think a lot of people I know, again, have switched back to this whole Sony is the dominant console. So it's not even about kind of sell through or getting that sort of getting it to the price point where people are interested.
Yeah.
It's that if I have a PlayStation, I don't need an Xbox
they need
One.
the install base. Like, they haven't updated their sales figures since November or something like that, I don't
But they need first party titles. They need. What's the last game they released first party? Scream Ride. I mean, that is not gonna. Look, Tom is laughing at it.
Sake.
It's not enough. What is Microsoft doing right now? It's all good to drop in the price, but why buy it if
They've
there's
got big
play on
games
it?
for Christmas, though, haven't they? They've got big games for Christmas. But
Do they? What have they got? Halo.
they've got Tomb Raider, Halo, Forza.
A Tomb Raider. Actually, I'm interested.
Quantum Break would have been, but
Delayed.
that's next year now.
We said that. Just saying. We said that on this podcast.
And they'll probably have a few more. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Banjo or something like that.
You think?
Maybe. There'll
Well,
be
Rare's doing something,
There'll be
right?
something from Rare this year.
Battletoads.
Yeah.
Well,
they are teasing it, aren't they?
I don't think it'll be a full price thing, though. I don't think it'll be one of their main.
Like Killer
Battletoads was
Instinct.
shit.
I don't know why everyone loved Battletoads. Why is that a thing? Why
Battletoads
is that
is
a thing?
infamously too difficult.
Yeah.
Like that section where you're on the fucking hover bike and like and you have to, and people are like screaming and having fucking aneurysms and shit. And it's like, who wants
They
that?
keep
Like no
doing this.
one.
They keep doing this. Like, Killer Instinct was a Rare game. Rare didn't make it. They got, and then Conker. Everyone wants a Conker game. They put them in Project Spark. Like,
Man.
what? They've got all these classic IPs.
This is the thing.
And what?
They're not keeping it simple. If people want it, give it to them. But give it to them in the way that they want it, and you'll probably see some returns. Instead, what they're doing is, it's like we said when they announced it at the E3 press conference.
Best day.
And they
Best day.
They literally said, "You want Conker? Fuck you. Fuck you. It's not happening. We're going to tease it here instead." That's what
That's
they did.
great.
That's what. It was a huge tease.
Those press
Don't
conferences
tease your audience.
are amazing. Like, Tom, have you ever wanted to go to E3? Like, everyone wants to go to
Yeah,
E3. Right? It's
yeah.
fucking terrible.
It's straight away now. People are mad.
Yeah,
You
it's a
don't
good
like going
experience.
to E3.
The best part of E3
It's coming home.
every year is coming home. The second best is sitting with Miller in the conferences, pissing ourselves at like whatever Microsoft
Live
is saying.
tweeting.
Like, we're live tweeting it and laughing, and people are
That was
like, "What's funny about this? Like, this is the most ridiculous thing in the world."
I said to you at the time, like, the best thing about this is so off topic here, but who cares? Like, when we were doing the live tweeting, we lost as many followers as we gained, and by the end of it, we balanced out. So, okay, 'cause we were just ripping into.
and the
that stuff.
Sony ones go on forever.
Yeah.
We left, didn't we? 'Cause we had to go somewhere else. We had another appointment to get to.
We had to leave. It went on for nearly 3 hours.
Yeah, it was
Like,
bad. Although no one was around us. You remember? We just had that massive.
yeah.
They put us in a section where it was just us, nobody else.
We had our feet up.
Yeah,
like,
had our feet
like
up.
louts.
VIP.
like losers. Okay, well there you go. I mean, I find it fascinating that Microsoft are this cheap, and I'm still not. I mean, I'm waiting for Gears.
That's an amazing
when I'll
price,
buy it.
though. It's an amazing price.
It's more than fair.
It is a good
but beyond
price,
fair. But would you buy one? Would you buy one right now? Well, you guess you would have bought a launch. Okay, do you regret buying your Xbox One? I don't mean that because you know the good games are coming. But to this point, now that it's cheaper, do you think I could have waited and I would have got as much out of my console? As I already had?
I definitely regret it. I've struggled with in my mind whether I'm going to sell it for the last 6 months.
Really?
Yeah. I honestly don't use it. So I bought a PC last year, so it doesn't help.
Have they got any games
That's
coming up?
another thing. I've noticed this a lot as well. I think a lot more people this gen seem to have bought a gaming PC as well.
I've got
And-
one. It's
Yeah.
rad as balls.
Yeah, like that PC seems to have just got. Remember, PC game is dead. Remember that like 18 months
not
ago, 2
anymore.
years ago?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No way.
On the up.
PC is the best platform. And that is
Yeah.
a fact.
Arguably so, yeah. But are there any games coming out for Xbox One that that's why you hold on to the console? Like, do they have stuff they're Quantum Break, for example, does that interest you?
No,
No, there you go. No, me neither.
Just Halo 5, but it looks to me like they ballsed up the multiplayer. So I don't know.
There's been that beta didn't go down very well.
No, it didn't.
ADS,
Did you see their
Sprint.
Did you see their wording in their press release? They're like, "Oh, can't wait to debut Halo 5 at E3." It's like, people already played it.
The language that game publishers use is incredible.
So patronising.
You're going to debut this game I've already played. We talk about it every time, but the Beyond Good and Evil 2 thing is just so good. I just feel I have to keep on reminding people.
Well, look, again, we've got
Tell the story.
It doesn't exist.
we've got a person here. Everyone accuses us of being like this, onto ourselves sometimes. You saw Beyond Good and Evil 2 demoed, right, a few years ago? You saw it with your own eyes.
The world
doesn't
saw
exist.
it.
Ubisoft said doesn't exist. So we're all liars. We all made that shit
No,
up.
but
It's so
I was
good.
speaking about this with someone else over the weekend because the Rainbow Six, right, they showed that. It was originally Rainbow Six Patriots, right, years ago.
Press X to kiss
I
Y.
Yeah.
liked that original demo. The whole iPad thing was stupid, but the idea was
It's
good.
a bit Heavy Rain meets Counter-Strike.
But that's why I liked it, I think, to be honest. But yeah.
So they had that, and then they re-announced it as Siege at E3 last year.
Yeah.
The assets that they sent through last week were called Rainbow Six re-announcement. I'm like, how many times?
Right.
Call it
What
that.
does this mean?
Call
Right.
it Rainbow Six
From now on, it's called Rainbow Six
Yeah.
re-announcement. Hitman
Re-announcement.
subtitle.
What does it-
Rainbow Six re-announcement.
mean?
Oh, dear.
Ubisoft.
crazy.
You can't announce games
it's
and then
just
pretend
sad.
they don't exist.
Also, speaking of Rainbow Six Siege,
Re-announcement.
Sorry, Rainbow Six re-announcement. Gone back on my.
The thing you just made, you broke
I've done a
straight
Ubisoft
away.
there. I didn't say that. You didn't hear that. I was so looking forward. I saw that behind closed doors at E3, and it was the best thing at E3 for me by a long way. And then, fuck me, now they're like, oh, here are the backstories
yeah,
of your
of course.
operators. It's got, it
still looks good, though.
I mean, it looks brilliant. But if it's got a story, I'll fucking go over there
But it does,
and I'll
because
batter
they
them.
can't leave things be. You know this. They have to tinker. At least this time they're being more open about it than, say, Assassin's Creed, which was literally right up to the wire. They went, oh, here's your story. Oh, we just threw it out there across the room. But they can't, it can either, especially with Ubisoft, it can never be your simple, your simple game idea anymore. It has to be this convoluted
It's got
level
to have
upon
some
level upon
bullshit
level.
backing it up
Anyway,
badly.
drawing things back in a bit, we're going to do what we always usually do. We're going to do what we've been playing. We'll
Why?
start with our man Tom. Why? Because I want Tom to talk about the games he's been playing.
All right.
Otherwise, we just
That's fair
screwed him over. Now, Tom, unsurprisingly, you've been playing Bloodborne. But the
Yeah.
thing you said to me that I want to talk about more so is the fact that, and this is, I don't think, I'm looking at Burns here, that you and Brett agree with this. You prefer Dark Souls 2 at the moment, don't you?
At the moment, yeah.
Why
But
so? And then we'll get into it. Yeah, look, Burns. Why?
Controversial.
I'm quite early into Bloodborne. I'm only 14 hours in. So
Early.
quite early.
Anyway.
That is early.
Yeah.
That's early doors,
So,
yeah.
I mean, I just felt that Dark Souls 2, I never completed Dark Souls 1, so that might be why.
I said Dark Souls
Burns-
1, Burns.
Burns-
He said Dark
Burns-
Souls 1.
This whole conversation's gone totally sideways. It was going so well.
Go on, Tom.
So, yeah, I don't know. It felt more, I don't know, fluid like the start of Dark Souls 2. I
Yeah.
don't know. It just felt more of a natural progression, and Bloodborne feels a bit, I don't know, it feels a bit disjointed at times. And
Okay.
I
In
don't
what,
know.
in terms of like the combat or the progression or?
Yeah, I just don't know if I like the interlocking level design, because obviously I never played Dark Souls. I know Dark Souls had that, but Dark Souls 2 is much more like, you go here and then there's a bonfire, and
Yeah.
the bonfire takes you back to wherever.
Right.
And in some ways I prefer that. I also find the environments a bit samey so far as well, whereas in Dark Souls 2 they were all quite varied. But I'm still enjoying Bloodborne.
see
It's
that.
not that I'm not.
Burns, retort.
Well, I fundamentally
into a
disagree.
debate.
No, I actually agree on the level design front. I love the interlocking stuff, and because I really like Dark Souls, but it doesn't have, I think you spoke about this last time, it doesn't have the variety of the original Dark Souls for me, which had very distinct stages and kind of phases of play from Blighttown, Undeadburg up to Anor Londo and all.
Because
the ones-
Bloodborne's basically one
Yeah.
set piece,
it's
right?
like saying in
Yeah.
one night, and the moon changes and the world changes around you. But so I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
I think it's got a very different atmosphere. Like it feels, it's very well. It's obviously very gothic, whereas the original Dark Souls felt a bit like a dream. Like it had this excellent dream quality where you just. I think the music really helped with that. You're kind of walking around it and like a proper adventure. I'm not talking fantasy Tolkien bullshit. I'm talking a proper adventure where you just went places and they were all different and you met crazy like people, whatever. Whereas Bloodborne, yeah, I know what you mean. And also Bloodborne starts so quickly. It just throws you, you wake up and it's like, fight this wolf.
Yeah,
and what the fuck? I mean, I killed it, obviously, because I'm not amazing. But
Did you kill that wolf? Because Brett told me you couldn't do it.
I killed it with a visceral attack. Fuck you, Brett.
In that video we did, right? Listen to this, I get mad right now. But in that video, I wanted to try and kill it, and he convinced me I couldn't. I believed him. I always believed, and I shouldn't have done.
Listen,
I wanted to punch that wolf to death to prove a point.
At the beginning of Demon Souls, you get killed and you wake up in the Nexus.
Right.
You don't have to get killed. You're armed with fuck all, but people can beat that boss. You're meant to die and then wake up, and that starts the story.
The fact you can, though, I like that.
But people are like, nah, I'm in my pants now. I'm going to beat this. You can beat that, like, you just get behind it in visceral. Fucking Brett, shit games, aren't it? So I know what you mean. I know. I really, really like Bloodborne, but I think in the memory, I think Dark Souls will linger.
Have you finished it yet?
I've not finished it, no.
See, I finished it over the weekend.
So I've been arguing with people all weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I'm looking at you in like
know.
surprise and a bit of disgust.
I'm thinking that of myself.
Only because you're always my partner in crime on those games,
Miller,
and now I'm all alone.
I feel so bad, Miller. I feel like I've betrayed.
A little bit, a little bit.
No, I really got into it. I have to say though,
I think everybody is apart from me, to be honest.
yeah. I mean, the last boss only took me 4 hours. But I do think it loses a bit towards the end. I think the level design changes up slightly, and the environment changes up. There's a big shift.
All right.
But I think at that point it tries being difficult for the sake of being difficult, and it deliberately does that frustrating thing of
That doesn't surprise me.
throwing a load of enemies at you and a load of respawning enemies at you and things that it's not very clever at that point. Whereas I felt like the 2/3 leading up to it was quite clever in its design, and I think it just felt, screw that, I'm just going to throw everything
A bit
at
like
you.
Resident Evil 4's ending.
Yeah.
I hated Resident Evil 4's ending. I love Resident Evil 4. I think it's one of the greatest games of all time. But the ending is shit.
Something on Twitter, I don't know who said this now. I mean, there's a big debate between two people. I think they were games journalists. And they were saying...
They're idiots, right?
They were saying that they think Bloodborne does a lot... Start again. Bloodborne takes a lot of the bad parts of Resident Evil 4 and doesn't get away with it. But Resident Evil 4 never got criticised for those same points.
What?
Does that make sense? Arguably not, because everyone's looking at me like I'm Russian.
No,
Basically, they're saying that Bloodborne getting a free pass... Is Bloodborne getting a free pass?
There's one point in Bloodborne where it almost turns into a stealth game. You're like, what? So
that can fuck
There's
off.
this bit with a tower, and if the tower can see you, it sends you into frenzy. And if your frenzy builds up enough, it's insta-death. You just die. And so you have to...
I genuinely thought about playing this game. You have just got rid of anything I wanted
if you
to
know
do.
what you're doing, this segment will only last less than 5 minutes.
Oh, okay,
but you
right,
have to take cover behind these bits in the environment, behind these rocks, and it's like it's done that deliberately to make it difficult. And it throws enemies at you and all that.
Sake,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the rest of the game wasn't like that. And it's like you don't need that in there.
What else did that? I'm playing something else that did that. And that's pointless podcasting. But I think a lot of games do that just to kind of extend the length or introduce some kind of variety. They
Four
felt like they
stealth
needed to.
sections.
Like, it doesn't really feel cheap, but then there's bits like that. And there's another bit towards the end where you meet an enemy, and I only ever met it once. But when it looks at you, it sends you into frenzy and you just die. And it's like, it doesn't need stuff like that. Like now, and this is what I think Dark Souls fans often say, you have to learn the enemy types, you have to learn things like that. It's like, yeah, next time I know not to run up to it. But the first time I do it, it just feels a bit...
Next time I know for it to not look at me. Like, what?
I don't know. It's stuff like that where I thought, this is reminding me why I didn't get on with those games before.
Yeah. It's too trial and error-y, for lack of a better term. I don't like...
But the rest of the game wasn't. I found, anyway. I didn't find it like that. I found it more like a sort of action-y game that was quite difficult in places.
Yeah.
But,
I just don't like games that... And oddly enough, I finished Valiant Hearts at the weekend.
Oh, yeah?
Took my time with that one. But oddly enough, because I read your review as I started playing it to see what you thought. I didn't I kind of got your points, but now I finished it.
What? You coming at me with that?
No, I'm saying now I finished it. I completely agree with you.
Right,
It's awful. There's so much of it for a game that's supposed to be poignant and emotional, where it's just so gamey. And it's so trial and error. Like, I didn't see that coming, but you'll know for next time. It's like, it's a game out of World War One.
I know.
Like, why do you feel the need? It's simply there to A, extend the game length, which was too long anyway, and B, to make it feel like a game when it doesn't need to feel like a game, because they're worried the rest of it is it's like an experience. But that's fine.
It has superb moments that, where you're in the POW camp, and you have to work your way through the little like cliques and up the ladder to essentially up the social scale. Fantastic. Then you fist fight the Red Baron or some shit on a tank in the middle of the Somme, and like this is offensive.
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing. It's like it doesn't need. It's like they took that bit and thought, well, that's not enough of a video game as we expect a video game to be. Therefore, we will integrate the video game bits into it. And it didn't need it, and they could cut an hour off it as well. But other than that, I did think
Hour
it
of
was very
Victory?
good.
the best.
That's Valiant Hearts. Hour of Victory when you can't climb a ladder.
Our victory
Crazy.
is the
Have you played Hour of
greatest.
Victory?
I played a demo of it.
Oh my gosh! Did you climb a ladder, or did you pick the wrong
I
class?
don't know. I really don't
The
know.
demo did pretty well. I remember
Well, I get
everyone,
it. They struck at the right time.
everyone
Just the game was
talking about. I remember
terrible.
someone bought it launch day where I was working, because didn't The Darkness come out kind of around the same sort of time, 2007
Sounds about right.
So yeah, I think they got kind of both
It's
of
actually
those.
Call of Duty 4, but 2007
What?
What are you talking about?
Well, I'm just saying the years in which I thought these games came out.
Going-
Fucked it.
You do like Bloodborne, Tom, though, don't you?
Yeah, I do love Bloodborne.
Do you think it's like because I mean, what Edge gave it a 10, we gave it a 10. I've seen some other 10s. Do you think would you
I'd be
put it in
tempted
that
by a
high
10.
praise? Really? Would you? There you go. Dave's got a
tempted.
tempted 10.
Yeah,
Well, you're at 18 hours. So it's early days. But I mean, could you foresee it? Like you get into the end of the game, you're going, you know what? Although I had my criticisms concerning Dark Souls 2 to begin with, now I actually think it's a better game.
Maybe. I mean, there's probably still another 40 hours or...
If not more, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So, I don't know, yeah. Conceivably, it could be it's very well.
It took me a while to get to there with the original Dark Souls. Like it took me a long time because I played it in stages. Like I would go away from it for about 3 months. I'd go, right, now I'm going to play. Oh shit, maybe I should. I actually thought to myself, you should play this.
Yeah.
It felt like, being a music journalist and not having fucking listened to Thriller or something. Like, no, I don't know. I've got no opinion on the greatest game of all time. So I played it.
Shit, I'm fucked. I better leave.
And yeah, there was, I remember the moment where I thought, fuck me, this is amazing. This is what everyone says it is. But it took a long time to get there. But with the Resi 4 stuff, I don't
think I phrased that very well. I didn't.
But Bloodborne does feel a lot like Resident Evil 4. It feels like Resident Evil 4's opening couple of hours, few hours.
It's the villagers.
Extended over, and I actually thought that was the best part of Resident Evil 4. People love the castle. I was like, fuck it, boring. Essentially, that's where it hits like a lull for me. Just like, when you fight Napoleon, the gigantic, and I was like, oh, yeah. And then a helicopter turns up and Mike gets killed, and you're like, but yeah, the opening of Resident Evil 4 is a masterwork. So I don't really get that. And also, Resident Evil 4 came out 10 years ago, just quietly. So things may have moved on a little bit.
Something else, talking of things we don't get, about Bloodborne. Some of the comments I've seen, I've played it for 40 hours and still haven't scratched the surface. I don't get that. Where's that coming from?
I don't know.
See, I feel like I've finished it. If I was to go back to it, I'd just be mopping up the little bits that I didn't see the first. I wouldn't be like, oh, there's still absolute tons that I've not seen.
I guess it depends how you approach it. I think maybe you approach it like I would approach it, as in to finish the video game, whereas they're approaching it to literally see every
but I'm
nook
still
and
tempted to
cranny.
go back in like New Game Plus and that.
There's a lot of lore and stuff in the Souls
I am tempted.
games, isn't there?
Yeah.
So-
Well,
Keep leveling up.
yeah,
Keep going.
The game that lasts forever. That's what people say.
One thing that has frustrated me though is that as soon as you finish the last boss, well, as soon as you trigger the last boss, no, that's wrong. As soon as you defeat the last boss, you can't go. It takes you straight back into New Game Plus, so you can't go back and explore the world.
I should always warn you. Are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah, I know. And there was stuff that I wanted to do that I didn't realise it was going to do that. But,
See, again, classic Dark Souls, that kind of game. You learnt now. It's
and I
taught
looked
you.
it up and it's like, oh, make sure you back up your save before the boss.
cheers.
It's like, well,
Just tell me.
Yeah.
Just warn me.
Yeah.
Tom, have you been playing anything else other than Bloodborne? We've done a lot of Bloodborne talk on all these podcasts.
Hotline Miami 2 and Xenoblade Chronicles.
Let's start with
3D.
Xenoblade Chronicles, because we haven't played that, right? No one here's played Xenoblade
no,
Chronicles.
I don't know if it's my sort of thing.
No,
Yeah.
what's going on? What have you been playing Xenoblade Chronicles on?
3DS.
3D. Of course it is,
Obviously,
yeah.
Miller.
Of course, I wasn't
Come on,
thinking.
not
I
really
said
Wii, is it?
Is it good?
I've only played an hour,
Yeah.
but it's quite charming.
Yeah.
That's the way I describe it at the moment.
It's like crazy RPG, right?
Yeah, it's crazy big.
What's that about
and-
crazy?
Yeah.
What do you mean
I thought it was
crazy?
crazy. I thought it was like well intricate and hardcore and all that nonsense. Is it not?
I don't know.
I don't know much about Xenoblade. I've never really played them,
enough
so.
of it, so I don't know. It seems nice at the moment.
And what's the other thing you've been playing, sorry?
And Hotline
Hotline
Miami
Miami 2. Now,
Yeah.
this man right here, who I'm looking at, says that Hotline Miami 2 is a bit of a disappointment.
2. Yeah, I'd agree with Steve.
Oh, he agrees with your birds. You're all
Really?
right. Why? Why do you think so?
I don't know. It just feels really disjointed, like all the different characters.
Yeah.
Like the first one, like you could just get in a zone and it was just that pounding soundtrack just came on and you were just that character, and then there's weird, it's only short dialogue sections afterwards, and then you were back in the action, you know, pumping, you know, bullets into people, knocking people's heads off, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And all of this soundtrack, but it feels very hard to get in the groove in this one because you're pulled out and then another character, and they control differently. Like this guy with a chainsaw and a gun at the same time. Like it doesn't even, I don't know, I didn't even think that character worked that well. Like,
really?
Yeah, I just ended up using a chainsaw. I just didn't really bother with the gun.
It just sounds, I mean, I touched upon, I played quite a lot of the first Hotline Miami actually. The second one just sounds like convoluted and messy and like...
I kind of liked it. I'll be totally honest. Yeah. I really liked it.
Well, why is that? Because everyone else hates it. Not hates it, but everyone else is so down on it. It's so like they haven't got this right at all.
It has problems. Like I still feel like the levels can be a little bit too big, and you can be shot. Just like what you were saying, Burns. You can be shot from places you didn't even know enemies were there, like miles across the map. But I don't know. I didn't have as much of a problem with it as I guess maybe. As you did. I mean, there had some bugs, like the spinning dog and things like that. You know,
Dave, I played it for 52 hours, mate.
Well, apparently. And I quite liked the whole story stuff. I thought the story added a lot to it.
I liked
it a lot. It made it feel really like a horrible, horrible place and horrible people.
Still got a great atmosphere, great tone to it.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't think it's bad. I mean, I haven't played the second one. I don't think it's bad by any things, but I think this whole thing about, you know, feeling because it's a sequel and you have to add things to it must be apparent.
I think the thing with the first one, you just felt like a sort of anonymous killer, really, just going around doing these tasks. I think with this one, they really they made you feel like these disgusting serial killers. And I don't know, maybe it's just something about me, but I kind of like that.
That's fair enough. I get it. I think sometimes a game, it's kind of difficult with Hotline Miami because it seems to be working both ways. But if a game gives you sort of more depth, for lack of a better term, to buy into, then you get more out of it. But at the same time, I guess if you're playing it like Tom and Steve maybe approach more as a score attack, get in the zone, and sort of use that pulsating beat to shoot things, and you're going to miss that a little bit.
Yeah. There are people that are amazing out on YouTube. There's the boat level. Have you done the boat level?
I can't even remember.
Sure, I've done one based near water, but I don't know if that's.
There's a load of crates.
Yeah, you hide behind the crates and the guys pop up. Yeah. So I fucking hated that, and a lot of people said in the reviews and people on Gaff. Those guys. Yeah. So they said
so unnecessary.
They didn't like it as well. But I watched someone on YouTube get full combo that entire thing, and they got the score was so big that it started to have letters in it rather than numbers because the character count obviously gone over, and the number was so big it was overlapping some of the other text. So it's possible, but it just doesn't feel as intuitive. It doesn't feel as fast. Like getting shot through windows all the time.
It's very annoying. It is
all
very
the
annoying.
time.
I felt like I was cheating's the wrong word, but maybe you know what I mean. Cheating more often than I was in the first one, where I was kind of jumping into a doorway, letting them see me, and then jump back out.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't remember doing that in the first one, or at least not so much.
In the first one, you were encouraged to
sort of run in, blast, and
kind of just do it.
And I think there's less of that.
Freeform it, whereas this, there's a prison break level. Oh, it's just, oh my days. And people get cute. I know this was in the first game as well, so it's a legacy bug. People getting stuck on doors, dogs hitting doors and just spinning around. Like, you know what? Fuck this. Yeah. But it does have moments in it which are really, really good. I found with the chainsaw, the twins or whatever, I found them to be very difficult to use at first, but when it kind of clicks, it really works. But at the same time, it's like I say, it's buggy, it's overlong. Those soldier levels, no. How does someone not just go, I know they're important to the story.
Or the jungle one.
Yeah. Just like, nah, I'm out. I'm done. Yeah. Or just have one of them. It's like, why am I sniping in a Hotline Miami game? What am I doing
because
here?
it's a sequel. And you've got to be able to do more than you did in the first game. Right? Yeah, it's got to be more.
Classic Metal Gear Solid 2. Yeah. Fuck Metal Gear Solid 2 as well.
Tom, have you been playing anything else? Anything else you want to talk about game-wise?
No, I haven't been playing anything else.
It's because we're in that quiet bit now. Blood Bowl came out, it goes quiet, then Mortal Kombat
It's announcement season, Miller.
I do want to talk about Mortal Kombat, actually.
What's going to be announced?
Now?
Well, the next month or so.
What is going to be announced?
Everything, Miller.
Well, Gears is coming at E3. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. Gears is coming at E3. It's one of my Miller predictions where people go, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And yeah, I'm always right. And that's
something Gears will be at E3.
Yeah, something Gears will appear at E3. Have they? Yeah. No, that doesn't count at all then. That's rubbish. What else? I don't know what else is going to come out. What do you want to see?
I think because everyone's saying, Guitar Hero will be announced next week.
That will come soon, yeah, that will be relatively
And it
soon.
might be, but part of me's wondering if it's a Call of Duty teaser that they've just blindsided everyone.
Usually 1st of May, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you get Call of Duty announcements.
Assassin's Creed, we're past our date for Assassin's Creed.
That's
recently,
true.
that's been February, March.
Yeah.
I know it leaked, but I don't know.
That's coming. That will be soon. And then you'll probably get...
I mean, Deus Ex soon, presumably.
Yeah,
Hitman, maybe.
Didn't they throw something out this morning?
About Deus Ex.
For Hitman.
Did they?
Was it for Deus Ex?
There's been some talk about Deus Ex.
I don't know.
It was from Square Enix's Twitter account. It was something about termination. I presumed it was
Hitman.
Cracking a code. I presumed it was something about
I have absolutely no idea. I'm not going to lie. But there'll be lots of announcements, I'm sure.
It feels like, new financial year we're in now.
Of
And I
course,
feel
yeah,
like-
so people go nuts. So that's true. I do want to talk about Mortal Kombat, though, because I
Yeah.
played Mortal Kombat a few weeks ago, and I wasn't on the podcast.
It's out next week, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
I
about.
can't believe
actually-
it's out next week.
It doesn't
Why?
feel like it, does it?
It doesn't I mean, people that still care about Mortal Kombat can fucking just go. But
The thing is,
so maybe that's just me.
I
but
like it. This is the problem. I like it. It's fun. It's stupid. Like, you can't play. The only problem I do have is when the developers try and pretend that it's not a stupid, silly
Based
game.
on Godfather Part 2,
I mean,
but that's an
stop
insult.
that right now. But I do think it's fun, and I do think it's one of those games where, like, beat 'em ups can sometimes get well too exclusive. Do you know what I mean? Like, you sit down
Yeah.
and play and think, I don't know how to even start. Like,
It's fun enough, I agree.
But it's easy
I never,
to play.
Like, be excited about it. Like when Mortal Kombat's on, you can just jump in and
yeah,
bat some
okay, that's
people
fair
and watch some skulls. And you're like, yeah, I get it.
I don't know. When we get it in, I would watch whoever's playing it for a
well, I think
while.
we'll do a VG Versus or something with it
Yeah.
like that. But I just,
It
as soon
is
as I
appealing
sat,
visually as
Yeah,
well.
the
yeah.
characters are good because they're stupid and they're silly. The story mode's good because it's stupid and it's silly. And playing it is good because all the moves are stupid and silly. So you sit there and you think, I'm not supposed to take this seriously. As I am playing
People
a vid.
do take it seriously.
Well, that's
don't
when
they,
I don't mind the whole competition aspect. Take that seriously. I get it. But the game itself needs. And that's one of the reasons I like it so much. Because in this sort of world where video games have to be, the video game, it's the dumbest piece of shit in the world, but it's all the better for it.
Yeah, I like, when they...
Play as Predator myth.
Exactly,
I know.
you can play as Predator.
It plays Carl Weathers.
Honestly, the best thing I did, everything has a K. Everything. The only thing that doesn't have a K, and I bet you they changed
Carl
before
Weathers.
release, is confirm. That's with a C. And I mentioned that when I did something about it. But they'll put a K in that. How dumb is that?
That's a bug.
It's like...
That's an oversight,
it's
surely.
so like late 90s extreme with an X.
It is.
It's so dumb, but they don't care because they embrace it so much. It's like, that's fine. Like... If you seemed embarrassed about it, I'd be embarrassed about it because you're like, I don't give a fuck. It's Mortal Kombat. It's like, yeah, fine. I go along for the ride. I just think it's a lot of fun, and I think coming out this time of year is really smart as well. Like I would never buy a Mortal Kombat game at the end of the year if I had all this other stuff coming out. But in this, not a lull period, but definitely a quiet period, I'd pick up Mortal Kombat. I probably will pick up Mortal Kombat. I think it's excellent. I think it's really good.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna spend the money on like shoes or something, but on a haircut, probably be cheaper to buy. It would definitely be cheaper to buy
Mortal Kombat would be cheaper to buy.
Then,
No question than a
then
Steve
get a
Baez
haircut.
haircut.
It's one of those games I'll get when it's 20 quid.
Yeah, I
know
think
what
that's
mean?
fair. I say that. I'd probably wait for it to drop in price.
Maybe.
You
Fight-
Mortal Kombat fan?
Not really.
No,
but
why not?
I don't know.
That's not really aggressive, like Paxman. Why don't you like Mortal Kombat? Do you like beat 'em ups in general?
No, not really.
Oh, that'd be why.
I mean,
That's the
that's
thing,
what-
like
yeah.
fighting games.
I used to love fighting games.
I don't know if they warrant that 40, 50 pound
Yeah,
price point
exactly.
anymore.
No, and you can tell that as well because there's a lot of stuff in this game. You've got story mode, you've got obviously your normal exhibition stuff, you've got these living towers. You know the classic Mortal Kombat tower things. They evolve. Like, some evolve throughout the day. So you have your normal ones, but there's living towers, so you can tune in. You know what I mean? Log in one day and they'll have a whole new tower to try and beat. That is a game that knows we've got to make sure we keep throwing stuff at people so they don't get bored and trade it in.
I agree with you. I mean, I like how kind of it's silly, but I don't think it's stupid. I think there is.
Did I say stupid?
No.
So I agree with that statement,
it's one of those games where if you had mates around, you'd pop it on. But how long would that last? I mean,
Yeah.
Who was it that was it? Games TM that gave Mortal Kombat 9 or something. They gave it like 6, I think. And wow, people went mad, like properly.
Is Mortal Kombat 9 the reboot with Mortal Kombat?
I think it's just called Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it's
isn't
the
it?
reboot, yeah, okay.
Fuck's sake. But
That was all right.
people went insane with grief over this score.
Did they?
Yeah. I think they gave. Yeah, I think it was a low score because it was Luke, and Mr. Fighting Games, and he was like. The forums, Gaff, I think, was like, "This is ridiculous! How dare they?"
There is a certain, like you say, someone that's an elitist, let's say, when they come to fighting games, do look down on Mortal Kombat. They do see that as like the ugly sibling or whatever. But I don't think that's fair. I think the problem with a lot of fighting games, like Blaze Blue, whatever the hell it's called,
Fuck that.
it's too hard to get into, which is fun. They should exist. I'm not saying they shouldn't exist. It's great that they do. But that's why Mortal Kombat's so good. You punch someone in the head, then you throw a spike through their body or something, and rip out their spleen. Like, it's not supposed to be taken seriously. But the fact of the matter is, if you want to take it seriously, it has the depth that you would expect from a fighting game to make it competitive and stuff. And I think that's why it's so good. I'd say it's the best fighting game.
See,
I like Street Fighter.
I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Dead or Alive.
I mean, that
Sorry,
is
I don't know about soft spot.
Yeah.
Indefensible, really.
As former CVG man Chris Scullion said on Twitter the other day, like enjoying Dead or Alive for its mechanics is like buying Playboy to read the articles. And I think that's
wonderful.
probably...
Who are that? Scullion?
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
Bravo,
fuck
Scullion.
you, Scullion.
But no-
Playboy in its day, I'm going to be
Oh,
that
no,
guy.
we've done it.
Actually, like Gore Vidal wrote for fucking Playboy. Exactly. I don't mean the shampoo person.
I thought that was a spot on though. You play Dead or Alive and you're like, well, yeah. I mean,
But yeah, people do buy
going
Playboy
on?
for tits. Anyway,
There you go. All right. Well, unfortunately, we got to the bit, Tom, where we have to shake
Yep,
your hand,
fine.
and
Yeah.
we should have thought about
Wow.
this better. Well, I thought we could keep him in, but that's not fair to the Tom that was on last week, where we only gave him like 25, 30 minutes. We might have to rethink this, but we'll do it. But is there anything else you want to talk about or pimp before we shake your hand into the night?
Yeah, well, you can follow me on Twitter at TBlake7.
There you go. C Blake 7, motherfuckers.
Pal.
TBlake7.
No, T Blake 7. Or you can follow the guy I just made up. I'm making a Twitter account as soon as I'm out
I'm
of this
definitely
room.
going to do that. I'm doing that right now, in fact.
And more importantly, as you're here, we want to express our thanks. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
joining the Video Gamer Community Club, and
Yeah.
thank you very much for taking the time today to come and join us in
Yeah.
the Video Gamer UK podcast.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
We really appreciate it. So what's going to happen now? There's going to be a weird break, and a magical new voice is going to appear out from nowhere. So,
Another Tom.
fuck, it is as well.
oh my
Jeez,
goodness.
Oh, there you go.
Tom's back.
All right, with the magic of technology, we're back in the room, and Mr. Tom Ori joined us. All right, Tom. We're not going to be as polite to you
I haven't
as...
myself up yet.
Yeah, I know, but I got
even
bored
know
sat
if this
here.
is working.
But what I want to do is I want to transition off Mortal Kombat and talk about Lego Jurassic World. 'Cause I didn't chat about that on this podcast.
Lego Jurassic
Because here's the thing, everyone got really excited about Lego Jurassic World. I think it's fine.
Who did?
People that I saw talking about it. But it is just... I mean, they're Assassin's Creed. They're Ubisoft now. You just take a license and you throw it into that template. I mean, it's fine. It's fun. If you like those games, you got all the moments you can be excited about. But I don't necessarily think it's something to be super pumped for.
I just think it's a good kids game, isn't it? It's like what we were saying on the podcast a long
Mate,
time ago.
You're right. I just don't think the Lego games are for me. But it's a shame because I love Jurassic Park, especially the first movie. And it would be great if I could actually play a Jurassic Park game that was good. And I feel almost like it's a shame that it's gone to the Lego world. I feel like it takes something away from it. Is that bad? That made me an asshole? Probably.
No, I think that's fair.
I want Jurassic Park Isolation still. That ain't happening.
Yeah, I
But,
want that. Or
I
Far
just-
Cry Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I mean, that will do. I just think it's a shame that we've never really had a good Jurassic Park game. The one on the SNES was good. That was a good Jurassic
We
Park
never
game.
really had a good dinosaur game, really. Turok was all right, but
Yeah, but it wasn't really though, was it? Turok.
Dino Crisis, I guess that,
Dino Crisis 2 is amazing.
I don't know. I just don't really like the Lego template anymore. And I think it's a shame that it's so successful that you kind of lose opportunities you could get
I think the
elsewhere.
template's fine. It's just, I think it's used so often that it kind of...
Yeah. Because I don't like the Lego Batman games either, which is, I'm lucky because you always got the Rocksteady games. But I don't know, I just played it and I was like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
You know.
It would be nice if there was an option for kids and adults, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like an adult version. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that. Dave, what else have you been playing properly?
Properly. I don't
I know
want to
you've been
talk
playing
about it
Bloodborne.
again. I don't want to... I actually played a bit of Drive Club.
Are you still, I mean,
I've done all the DLC now.
Dave, have you seen
but-
they're updating the servers, Dave?
We have again.
Yeah, major updates.
Seem to be doing that every day. But what I did put a lot of time into, and by a lot of time I mean 2 hours until I finished it, was Forza Horizon 2 presents Fast and Furious, which was the free...
wait, what?
You not seen this?
Forza Horizon 2
Presents...
Fast and Furious
Yeah.
with Dwayne The Rock Johnson
No, he's
and
not
Vin
in
Diesel.
it. No, Ludacris is in it.
Right.
But
He
only
was
his
the
voice.
cheapest. Okay, what do you do? I don't know about this. This is brand new to me.
So it's just a free download. I think it's free for another few days. And it's just set within a small part of the Forza Horizon 2 world. And you just do missions that you would within Forza Horizon 2. It's essentially a teaser.
Is it free?
Yes.
It's an advert then. You basically download an advert.
It's an advert of both the game and the film.
Right.
The cars they give you are apparently identical to the cars in the film.
Like you don't trust it.
Yeah.
Apparently the same.
I don't know. do I?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. I do think though, because I used to get asked this all the time, and by people like Brett, which is better, Drive Club or Forza Horizon 2?
There you go. Let's do it right now.
I do think Drive Club is better.
Do you really?
Oh.
Because a lot of people would disagree with you if you would go on sort of Insta reactions. Why is it better?
Forza is great. It is a really fun racer, but it doesn't have that replayability that Drive Club does. It doesn't have that sort of time trial type thing. I know time trials aren't for everyone, just like how Bloodborne isn't for everyone. But Drive Club is kind of the Bloodborne of racers.
That's going to be on the box.
Yeah.
It's not even live. It's already on the box somehow.
But it is. You go back, you repeat the
That
same.
sounds like bollocks.
No, you repeat the same thing. You get better at it until you've done what you're supposed to do.
That sounds like
That's
all
Bloodborne.
racing games, Dave.
Yeah, Dave, that's
Yeah, but not
nonsense.
Forza.
Don't you get better as you do more?
No, you just kind of go through the campaign, don't you? Done. With Drive Club, you have all the challenges and stuff, don't you?
Do you think, because you obviously a big fan of Drive Club, do you think they've really screwed themselves over with that poor launch and then all the problems
Oh,
they
big
had?
time.
Do
To
you
the
think
point where the
if
studio's basically dead.
but do you think if it launched now, as it is now, it would live up to the sort of hoopla that it had before?
I still think it would have had the server problems because I don't think they've
Right.
redone that
Yeah.
to the point where it needs to be for a launch again. I think the only reason it works now is because the numbers have fallen.
So much they can handle the traffic.
Honestly, I think that might be the reason
That's
why.
bad
I mean, there's
though,
been
isn't
some
it?
tweaks, but there's a reason why they haven't launched the PS Plus edition.
Yeah.
Because as soon as they do, there's going to be millions of people jump on and it will just crumble.
It's terrible, isn't it? And it's just so bad.
But no, I mean, since the weather really came along, really, it bumped it up another level, and that was a month or two after launch, wasn't it? Wasn't that long?
Yeah, took a time.
But no, it's got a load of good stuff in there now.
It's even got replays, hasn't it?
It's got replays.
What a big feature that
oh,
is.
yeah,
Rain.
yeah. Photo mode's great. It's just a photo mode, but it looks really nice.
Well, I like the fact you like it. I like the fact that somebody does, because I don't know anybody else is playing it.
And you know
I
what?
don't mean that badly. As
There are
much
a lot
literally don't.
Yeah, there are a lot of people out there going, "Where's the PS Plus edition? Give me the PS." Honestly, it's a demo. Like Sony has
Yeah.
screwed themselves over by making it sound bigger than something it actually is.
Yeah.
If you're a PlayStation Plus member and you're interested in Drive Club, still just buy it for 20 quid.
Yeah. Is that how much it is now? 20 quid?
That's how much it is.
Fuck. I'd
And
put it, well, I may buy it for 20
Even on
quid.
PSN, digital copy to PlayStation Plus members, 20 quid.
Yeah.
Just get it. It's good.
Dave Scammell says. Anything else, or is that it?
Anything
Not
to
on,
add?
no, not on Drive Club. I mean, Jen, you playing anything else that you may want to shout out? Because I mean, the only thing I played is Valiant Hearts. We've done that.
I played Metal Gear Solid on the Vita.
The original one.
The original Metal Gear Solid.
Which version? Is it literally just the PlayStation version?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an incredible game.
Still think so. Hasn't aged.
It's-
How old is it now? 25 years?
It came out in the US in 1998.
It's not 25 years. It's over 20 years. How many years extra did I add to that?
You've lost it, mate.
No.
The pacing, the game flow, all of it is absolutely fantastic. It's so, like people who defend its fucking terrible sequel are insane. They are insane.
I like the second one.
Oh,
I like the second.
Wrong. have you played it recently?
No.
It's borderline unplayable.
The controls are a bit wank, but
You have
it's a
to
good
like to
game.
fire your gun. You have to press 3 buttons in first. It's like, what
Yeah,
is
that
this
was bad.
shite? But on the first one, it's actually a lot quicker to get to places than I remember it being. Like I got to Psycho Mantis and very, very quickly. But that's like, it's so inventive still. It still does things a lot better than other games. And you think that, a PlayStation game from 98 would have aged pretty badly, but it has a great aesthetic that carries its visuals through.
Yeah.
And it still controls really well.
What if? Whoa.
Dave went mental
I've
when you
just
were
had
saying
like
that.
a brain gasm.
Right, Dave.
What if they cross Bloodborne with Metal Gear Solid?
No, why would you want that?
Metal
That's
Gear-
horrible.
Yeah.
Didn't they do that with Revengeance?
What? You serious? No, in
How
terms
do you
of
mean?
like you get better at sneaky, you make less noises, and you get up to big bosses like Psycho Mantis. Like, yeah, this is a big moment, and then you have to
Is
try.
this
It kind
your
of
thing
is
now,
like
though?
that.
Is this it? Because you like Bloodborne, everything is.
You want all games to be like
But I'm
Bloodborne.
always trying to think of different types of games where that format would fit into.
I feel I get quite sad when the original Metal Gear Solid is talked about because I didn't play it at the time. I played it years after,
Miller,
and
it
I
was
feel like
good.
I missed out on a genuine moment in video games just because I didn't have the console.
The hype was fucking insane.
My mum was a bit concerned because it had a torture sequence in it.
Does it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember that bit.
But it's not like Abu Ghraib. It's you're
mash circle.
Yeah,
torture.
you're being electrocuted. It's not. You don't get waterboarded.
Yeah, well, no
Anything like
game
that.
would ever do that. But no, I do. I really feel like I missed the ball with Metal Gear Solid. I played it after Metal Gear Solid 2, which is probably why
Missed
I
the
actually.
ball.
Yeah, I missed the ball.
That's not a phrase.
I make up my own phrases.
Well, you can miss the ball. The ball came to you and you missed
missed
it.
it.
There you go.
Someone threw the
You
game
should have
at me.
volleyed it. You didn't.
Yeah, but I think that's one of the reasons I give Metal Gear Solid 2 a bit of a free pass. I obviously understand that Metal Gear Solid, and agree that Metal Gear Solid, the original, is the better game. But I think because I played that one, because I had a PS2, and I knew the first game was so good, but I didn't have the means to play it, therefore I got to play Metal Gear Solid 2. Oh, I quite like it. And then you play the original after that. It kind of skews the whole thing entirely.
Yeah, well,
Got screwed
whichever
over.
one you played first, it's like movies. Some people see certain installments of long-running franchises out of order, and they, Metal Gear Solid 3 is also incredible. Absolutely
Yeah, I think it's
incredible. I prefer it to the first one because it's just brilliant. Basically, any of the Metal Gear Solid games that have even numbers just aren't very good.
So I like 4.
I
Four
love
is so
parts of
over the
4.
top that
But
it-
4 is just stupid.
But that's why I love it so much.
And he
It's
bottled
just-
the ending, and I'll never forgive him for bottling
I
it.
agree with that. That is upsetting. But it's just,
Where is he?
Where is Kojima?
Let's start it right. It's once a week. We'll do Kojima Watch. We did it last
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
We'll do it now. Where do we think Kojima is right now? What's he doing?
He's probably
Chopping.
I don't want to calm down the sensationalism here, but he's probably making that fucking video game that's coming out in about 6
he's
days
not, he's definitely
time.
not doing that. Probably having a sandwich.
It comes out what
September.
September 1st. September 1st is
quite
no
soon.
time whatsoever in video game development land. He's probably crying under a desk somewhere
While watching some obscure
sobbing,
movie.
He's
So
probably in EA's headquarters.
he's probably having
Pitching
so many
Gear
meetings.
Solid.
Dead Space 4.
Solid.
Hideo
Kojima game. could be happening.
It'd be great if he did. That'd be
Takes
wonderful.
all the Silent Hills ideas, just
Yeah.
whacks them in there instead.
He's
Oh,
probably
dear.
just going to launch Kojima Productions under a different name, isn't he? There's no way
It sells itself, doesn't it?
he'll
So-
go and work for like an EA. Why would you? Like,
Don't need to. No,
Exactly.
it's true.
Like,
It's true.
You don't think so? You don't think
maybe they'll do
Yeah,
like
but
an,
there'll be mega bucks.
an EA partner. Yeah, but you could raise in terms of like venture capital. You could go, "Hi, I'm Kojima. I'm making another game. Give me some money." And people are like, "Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
give him
okay.
some money."
You're probably gonna
Corruption.
make your
I'd give him
money
£5.
Kickstarter.
Pow.
Yeah.
Kojima kickstarts. There we
back.
go.
Kickstarter. Tom, you've been playing anything exciting?
What have I been
Light up
playing?
this room with your words.
Probably still the same as always. Action Verge.
You like that game a lot, don't
Oh,
you?
here we go
You
again.
streamed it on
Made me
Thursday.
play
as
it the
well.
other
Did
day.
you like it?
Not as
Dave
much as
didn't.
Tom.
Dave deliberately didn't want to like it though, did he?
No, that's not true.
He was like, I don't want to play retro games. And then
Is this Brett being a dick again?
Brett's playing it. I think he likes it.
it looked like a Virtual Boy game when you were
It,
playing
is,
it
it
before.
looks like it's got a NES style, isn't it? So it does look old.
Nah, I can't be bothered with it.
I haven't quite finished it yet, even though the review is up with a score. Because,
Whoa,
Oh, no.
whoa.
because the final boss, I just can't do it. It is the final boss. I know for a fact it is the final boss.
I've said this before, I'll say it again. A man is just going to flare up the comments. But I think if you play a game for an hour and it's the worst hour, think about it, the worst hour of your life, I think you're allowed to review that
I
game.
played it for
I think
36
you're allowed-
hours.
I think that's all right, Tom. I think
Yeah.
you're allowed to review that
It's the
game.
Final Fantasy argument, isn't it? Yeah, but it gets good after 20 hours. No. That
Think
means it's
about
not
that.
good.
Exactly. Think about it. I honestly truly believe it. I haven't done it personally because I've never been in that position. But if I play a game for an hour and I get to the end of that 60 minutes and I want to kill myself, I think that's enough of a review for a video game, personally speaking.
There have been games that I've reviewed where after an hour you're like, well, this is, it's not going to become different. One of the games that was the reverse of that was Forza Horizon 2, which I really hated for the opening.
understand this.
For the opening 2 hours.
Opening,
There's so
the
much
cinematic
space.
is
first-
awful. The opening of that
The
game is
opening's
terrible.
awful. The
Are
fucking.
you joking?
No.
Yeah, it's
First 2 hours are the best.
shut up, mate. And that fucking.
You get off the boat, you drive around the coast into the festival.
Do you know what?
It's the best
Do you have-
moment in that
Do you have
game.
on-foot controls?
No.
Oh, I got excited. I'd love to get off the boat and run. I'd love that. I don't know why.
Proper.
It's so
Mid
atmospheric.
2000s talk. You can get out.
yeah,
You can walk
yeah.
around.
That's the only time in that game where you feel part of a festival.
I hate the festival stuff in for. I like it's so forced and yeah, we're fucking radical and like you're not.
To a degree, it's kind of cool though.
But it really did grow on me, that game. I did start to like it. I gave it an 8. Must have liked it. But
Okay.
yeah, but there are games where you just like fucking like it. What? Rogue Warrior is. I mean, it's only about 3 hours long. But after,
there you go, exactly.
After
You don't-
10 minutes, I was laughing in the office where we used to work. Just like this is. I'm so glad I'm
Exactly.
reviewing this because it's just fucking.
So the first
shite.
game I ever reviewed was for Games TM, a game called Made Man.
Made Man.
Yeah, Made Man.
Shit.
And I finished it because you think you got to play this right. But I knew after 40 minutes that was a broken mess of a game.
Is that
8
the one
hours later, I was right.
We found that on YouTube the other month, didn't we? I think.
Yeah, we did. We were
watched
looking at it.
clips
Yeah,
of it. It looked
it's
bad.
atrocious.
Yeah.
I'm still
Oh.
playing Wolfenstein as well, Miller.
Where you got to? Tom's
Must be.
weekly Wolfenstein
It's-
update.
I keep thinking I'm at the end. I did the whole moon bit. I thought the moon was the end.
That is pretty much.
But then I
close.
did, and now I'm much further than that.
Have you gone to the-
I fought the massive mechanical thing
Yep.
that stomps around.
Yep.
And now I'm trying to find. 'cause
You're almost there.
They got invaded. Their base did, and they kidnapped some people or something. I think you got to go and find them.
Have you
It's-
done
6 out
the
of 10.
concentration camp bit yet?
Yeah, that was ages ago.
I've forgotten that bit. Which was that?
It's where you go to the concentration camp.
Don't remember.
Would you play the New Order, or do you feel like you've had your fill?
Depends if I finish this before that comes.
Can
out.
I review the New Order, please?
Maybe.
Is that all right? I
What?
think people would love that. Anyway, that's enough game talk for now. Before we segue into questions, we're going to talk about the competition. Burns, I've seen some of yours and Jim's delightful green screen mechanics.
they're
that have been going
amazing.
on.
The YouTube, sorry, whoever you are that made that YouTube video of us,
I haven't seen
episode
this.
1.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
We will. We'll do a shout out because it's so good. Lydia was like, my girlfriend, like, she doesn't get it. She doesn't get that people do these sorts of things. And she's like, did someone made this? So they went through all the clips of you speaking and cut it together. She's like, that is terrifying.
We'll do a proper shout on the podcast. I
seen
can't
this.
remember. Yeah,
Have you
we'll
not seen
watch
it?
No.
But basically, if you want to enter this competition, there's a thread on the forum. Just go
I
to
thought this
the
competition should have ended by
forums.videogamer.com.
now.
Should it? No one told me
When's the
that.
date this is meant to end?
I don't think it's only been going for like 2 weeks.
I thought I told Jim to make it 1 week.
1 week. All right. Well, there you go. If you haven't entered, Tom Ori, master of video game, just screwed your ass.
It depends.
It's closed down.
What Jim said. I don't know when he announced what he said.
I was told it was still going. But, well,
Who knows?
If you've got your entry in, we'll be announcing that soon. Or maybe there's still time to get your entry in. It's a very well-run professional competition. But if you have entered, you have entered the chance to win a game from shop2.net up to the value of £50.
£50?
So we'll let you know soon enough if A, you've won, and B, you can still enter. But we'll go on to... I've got loads of questions this
I
week.
got a question.
Okay, we'll start with that. That's fine.
Because
Tom
I
Ori
only
asks.
play Metroidvania games now.
Okay, that's fine. You want a
So,
good one?
What's
Rogue
the
Legacy?
best? What's
No,
the
it's
best
all
way to
right.
play Symphony of the Night? Who's played it?
You can download it on PS4, can't you?
Because I think I've got it on like PSN and I've got an Xbox. Is the 360 version like better?
I don't
Or is
know.
it just like the old version?
That's a question to ask Brett. He loves Castlevania. I don't know.
Someone will tell me in the comments.
Okay,
probably.
well, if somebody can answer that question for Tom Ori, in what format should he play Symphony of the Night? Castlevania.
Have you tried? Is it Mirror of Fate? Is that the 3DS
game?
one?
So good. So's the other one. The 2DS ones are awesome games. Excellent.
I've got it. I haven't played it yet.
Fantastic. Music's amazing. Really good games.
Really?
Russell Lindsay, who is at Russell Lindsay1 on Twitter, asks, "How many? Is that you, Burns? How many cream eggs did the Burns consume over Easter?"
None. I didn't actually eat any eggs, and I did get Lydia an egg, but it wasn't like a proper one. It was a little Kinder egg with an Avengers toy in it. She fucking hated it.
I bought the most
There you go.
expensive Easter egg
How much?
known to man. Actually, it wasn't, but
Was it
$19.99?
it was £12.
£12
That is a lot,
Dave.
considering
So-
it probably costs like
what was it,
80p
Dave?
to manufacture.
So listen, right? I didn't realise we've never really done Easter. My
Who-
family.
right.
My sister bought me a really expensive Easter egg. Really expensive. Oh shit! I'm gonna have to go out and get one back. Went to Sainsbury's. Nothing. Easter eggs all gone.
Of course not.
This
No,
was
you-
Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, you
nothing
got
at
to
all.
act fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I had to go Marks and Spencer's, and I
It's the
saw
first
an,
mistake.
I saw a little fancy one up there.
Do the
Yeah,
good
yeah,
Easter
yeah,
eggs.
yeah. And I said, I didn't realise the woman I was standing next to worked there, and I was with my girlfriend. I said, "How much is that one up there?" And this woman turns around and she goes, "That's £40." £40.
Not really.
£40 for an Easter egg. Yep. Not
Fucking
getting that
hell.
one. So yeah, I got this £12 one, which had all. It was called an artist's egg or something.
Fuck off.
Nonsense. It wasn't even round like an egg. It was
What?
like.
How did you get that wrong?
It had angles, right? It was shaped funny.
Okay.
It was,
This sounds terrible.
it was like the shard, right? But someone had put a load of paint splashes up it. Anyway, I got my girlfriend to hold it, and as we're walking out the shop,
She dropped it.
dropped it,
Oh, no.
and I'm like, "This is this is unbelievable.
Why would you do that to
This is
yourself?
unbelievable."
Did it break,
£12,
or was the artist egg so strong? that
Thankfully, it did not break.
That's why you bought an artist eggs.
but £12
There you go.
on an Easter egg.
So how many
that
did you eat? How many eggs did you eat over Eater?
I only had the one that my sister got me. But
Oh,
it was,
okay.
it's a nice little lint
Tom?
chocolate one.
Oh, they're good.
I think I just had one of those Cadbury caramel mini like eggs. That's
mini?
the same as
Oh,
cream
nothing.
eggs. That size one.
Okay. The reason I want to ask this question is because I like it because he gets it. Because Metaphorical Oracle asks, what influences do you draw on for your digital personas? So he gets it. A lot of people think this when we go nuts, it's like genuinely nuts. It's not. It's all a joke. It's why Dave wears a coat all the time. It's why
Exactly.
Burns is Burns. It's all part of the gimmick.
Gets to a point
Well,
where...
all mine is wrestling based, obviously. I think everyone here does it kind of off wrestling, don't they?
Oh,
Does anyone
yeah.
have any inspirations?
I don't do it off wrestling.
No, you don't. Yeah, you don't get wrestling.
I don't even know what wrestling is.
Where did the Coke thing come from?
Don't know. I wore it once, and then people were like, "Why'd you wear a coat indoors?" And that's what I did. So
You just carried on doing it.
thought, yeah, why
You never
not?
know what's going
That
to
is
catch
based
on.
off like children's TV from the early 90s.
Well,
isn't
that's
it?
true, yeah. That's true. Okay.
Well, people used to say I was Carl Pilkington for a while. They said
No, I
and
don't.
and then they said I was what's his name? The guy with Carl Pilkington.
Ricky Gervais?
Ricky Gervais. That's something. I'm like,
Wow, no, who's ever described that as Carl Pilkington's mate? The Hollywood actor, Ricky Gervais.
they say, oh, I sound like Ricky Gervais. I don't know where that's come from. I hear it
don't
all
get
the time.
that. I don't know.
No.
Do you want to ask the cop? I've done it now. Even by mentioning that, I should have done that. Sorry, Dave. Oh well. Moving on. Richard Bray says, should we be able to lend digitally downloaded games to friends? Which ties back into the Xbox One stuff we were talking
I
about
thought
earlier.
that was a thing when they first announced Xbox One.
It
Wasn't
was, and then they got rid of it. I think he's asking, is that something that we need? I think so. Like, especially at the moment, because like, if I've got, I don't know, Valiant Hearts, whatever, and I want to lend it to Burns for 3 days, and I can't play it, and he can only have it for 72 hours. I don't think that's a problem. I think that's a... You're not going to finish, it's unlikely, or maybe Valiant Hearts is not a great idea, but I think that's a drop the ball by Microsoft. I think they should have kept that
kind
in.
of share play, isn't it? In a way. But
Yeah, that's true.
Share play is just not as convenient as that.
No, I would like you get home and it says, so-and-so has dropped this in your inbox. They can't play it for 72 hours. You can. I think, given the age we're living in, it's ridiculous that no consoles do that. But
Well, Microsoft tried and...
no one
everyone
wanted
went-
it, apparently.
Everyone went, no!
Steam does it, doesn't it? Steam does all the sharing stuff.
Well, with the Steam Press account, I don't need to buy any more games because I'm a filthy journalist that's got like 5,000 games on it. It's got so many that I don't even play any of them. I just look at it.
So many people right now
See ya.
seething.
Yeah?
Seething, Steve.
That's what it's for. It's a tool.
There is a way that you can do it on Xbox One,
Is there?
but you have to have both people's accounts on the same Xbox. You have to sign in at
Oh,
the
it's
same time.
too these convoluted fucking and not- secrets,
Dave. This is how you've got all the games from the VideoGamer account, isn't it? Naughty.
He looks at the floor. Nope. Edward Rose says, is there one game that the whole team agrees is 10 out of 10? I was going to say The Last of Us, but you don't think The Last of Us is 10 out of 10, do you, Burns?
Nope.
No.
8 out of 10.
Burns, 8 out of 10.
Resident Evil
Uncharted
4.
2.
Resident Evil 4.
Surely it's Resi 4.
No, I don't think Resident Evil 10 out of 10.
Miller never played this, did you?
I finished Resident Evil 4 years
Did
ago.
you?
Yeah,
I thought you
don't-
never played it. I thought
No, that was
the
just...
point
Surely we can all
gimmick
agree
for
on
the stream.
Half-Life.
Tetris, right?
Tetris, I agree with.
Yeah.
Yes. What do you think?
Like Tetris is obviously a 10. It's the perfect game.
Well, I need to do a round table because Dave's shaking his head a little bit like he doesn't agree.
I don't know.
Dave, if you can't
See, that
give
doesn't
Tetris
count.
a
That
10,
doesn't count.
I preferred Wet Tricks.
that is a lie.
That had water in it.
10 out of 10 games. You said one I agreed with. Uncharted,
Uncharted
2. Yeah.
No.
Fuck's
Oh, it's a
sake.
good game.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. What are you talking about?
Uncharted 3, 6 out of 10.
Well, yeah, now we're back on the same page.
The original Uncharted, 9 out of 10.
Yeah. I think I'd agree with that. I like the
2's
original
better.
Uncharted.
What are you talking about?
Maybe Uncharted 2 is better, but I enjoyed playing the original more than Uncharted 2 because by that point I was
He
bored.
loves
Such
it.
a dick,
He
isn't
loves it.
The Last of Us, though.
The Last of Us 10 out of 10, but you don't agree. Arkham City, you're not going to agree with.
GTA 5.
Yeah?
No, I've not played it enough.
Burns, you must like GTA 5.
I
10
really
out of
do,
10.
but I wouldn't give it a 10.
Would you not? What would you give it 10?
Just don't give 10s, really.
Dark
It's
Souls
not-
2 you give
It's
a 10
not really
to.
like a thing.
No.
But
you said you give Dark Souls 2 a 10, right?
Dark Souls would get a 10.
Dark Souls, okay, fair enough.
Tetris,
Tetris, I agree with.
Resident Evil 4.
We've
Wet
got
Tricks.
surely one of the Mario games we can all agree.
Mario 64.
Yeah.
I've not played a Mario game.
Mario Galaxy.
At the time,
I've not played a Mario game
64,
since Mario
but
64.
Probably not now, I would have thought.
No, I think Mario 64 is a 10 out of 10 game. Though.
But even now, he went back to it now.
What do you mean? That's
That's not fair.
I don't know what the question was. Is that the question?
We'll
Do you
move on.
remember an old
Sonic
video
2.
game mag called Total?
Yeah.
That when
Replayability?
Was it called Total Control?
it was called Total with an exclamation mark. And when Super Mario 64 came out, they gave it a 20-page review. Obviously, not a lot to talk about on the N64 days.
Yeah.
And they gave it 100%.
I love it. I love it. Like those dudes from that French website that gave Uncharted 2 or 3 20 out of 10. Talk about breaking your review system forever.
What about Metal Gear Solid?
Metal Gear Solid is
And
very
Tom's already
close.
poo-pooed it. That's already
Like-
done. You know what? We'll do this all day. The answer is no. There is not one game that we all agree
No.
on. I can't
Rogue
pronounce...
Warrior.
Tombu.
Bilal Square 1. Is Bloodborne better than 6? To the Bloodborne fans in the room.
Absolutely not.
Oh, there we go. Dave's... Burns is considering it, though.
I was just a bit thrown there by
Okay,
the question
fair
that seemed to have come out of 1994.
Well, that's true. These are eclectic collection of questions. This is what happens when I host the podcast. Pretot asks, if one wanted to start watching wrestling, where should he begin? Just start watching it. You don't need to, if you want to get into the current storyline, you're just going to have to watch Raw and then go backwards and figure out who's who and
Wrestling,
what they're doing.
so I signed up to WWE Network.
Damn right you did. So did Jim.
And
I should be getting royalties from WWE.
You really should. It's your referral fee. And I was just watching it for the documentary. WWE is so slick. They can be a bit myopic, I think, in places.
Oh, it's also history told by the winners kind of nonsense. Yeah.
There's a whole thing on the Randy Savage documentary about Miss Elizabeth dying in Lex Luger's house. They conveniently, mention, I think they call it like acute toxicity.
No, he
Lex
drugged
Luger.
her up.
Anyway, but don't watch any, allegedly, do not watch any new wrestling because it's shit and all the fucking characters are rubs. However, watch the Monday Night War stuff.
Yeah, I think if you've literally never watched wrestling, use the network to watch some documentary stuff and then just start watching Raw and SmackDown. It's the only way to do it. Destroyer of Dreams says, just picked up a new original Xbox. Can you tell me some obscure games I should pick up or just some great games?
New original Xbox.
Oh, yeah, because you can't say Xbox One, can you?
Yeah, that's
so
what
I
it
was
means.
proven right by Microsoft. Thank you, boys.
So what good games are there? I mean, obscure games, I don't know. I can't think of any.
Outlaw tennis.
Toggy? Is that a good one?
Oh, yeah. The weird pinball one.
No. It was like
Wait a minute.
it was like a third-person hack and slash, wasn't it? A Toggy.
Oh.
Was it good though?
Yeah.
Okay,
Ninja
Toggy.
Gaiden,
What is
obviously.
Outlaw tennis? Is it tennis
that's
played by
not good,
outlaws?
Dave
I've
say
got
that.
a picture.
No, it's
look
garbage.
at
And there's
up.
also Outlaw Volleyball.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember these
And
now.
golf.
No,
And
now
outlaw-
you've said
and
that.
outlaw
Yeah,
golf.
don't get them. Ninja
about-
Gaiden's a good shout.
That's not obscure, Miller, is it?
But he says, or just some great games.
What about what was
Get
it
Black
called?
though, Ninja Gaiden Black.
Valkyrie
Shenmue 2.
Chronicles? Valkyrie
Yeah, do
Chronicles?
Shenmue 2.
Valkyrie Chronicles was on the original Xbox, was it?
I thought it was.
Or maybe it was.
Unless
I
it was
don't
a
think
360
Valkyrie
game.
I thought it
Chronicles.
was. I thought that was a 360 game.
It was not the one. It's the one
think
where
we're
you
thinking of
kind of
different
have, you
games.
can kind of fly if you do it right, like glide through the levels and stuff.
Valkyria Chronicles. I thought that was
I'm
that
thinking of different games.
war game.
Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong title. It was made.
Maybe it's Valkyrie.
Something like that. Yeah.
What was
Valkyrie.
that? I don't know. There are a lot.
PNO3.
No, that's a GameCube game.
Yeah. Come on, that's part of the big five.
I think it's really hard to come up with great games on the
Panzer
Xbox
Dragoon.
now that people
Yeah,
would
Surely, what, Metropolis, was it? No, PGR.
PGR, I never.
Two?
I never
Metropolis
loved
Street Racer.
PGR 2, obviously, but yeah, PGR I never loved that much. But, yeah.
There we go. I don't know. My answer
Shenmue
is I
2,
don't know.
Dave, you're
Shenmue
right.
2,
Shenmue 2, do
Halo.
that.
What were the
Second
big
Sight. Psyops.
What were the big
Rally
games that came
Sports
out?
Psyops is right, yes,
Rally
Dave.
Sport 2, Psyops is brilliant.
Yeah, Second Sight as well.
Psyops, isn't that the game that Epic ripped off for Gears of War? Is that Psyops?
No.
Is it not? What was that? That was Psyops.
Was that Resident Evil 4?
Kill.
Sure, that too.
Kill
yeah.
Switch.
Kill
Kill
Switch.
Switch.
That's what I'm thinking of. Sorry. What other sort of classic games on Xbox? Halo.
Oh, The Suffering, that was good.
It
The
had
Suffering.
Andre Agassi on the cover.
The first one, I thought
did.
was quite good.
I never
Psychonauts.
played it. Overrated Psychonauts for
A
me.
little
I
bit.
didn't get it. Like it was so much hype. I have to go back and play this. I thought it was okay, but it's not.
Let's go back and play it.
Psychonauts.
Yeah.
All right, we can do that. I don't know how I feel about
Xbox has
it.
the best version of Enter the
Along
Matrix
with
as well.
Fahrenheit. That's on Xbox.
Oh, yeah, we do that as well. We do Star Fox Adventures. We talk a lot of big video games.
yeah.
Never actually sit down and get it done. One day. We'll move on. Mike Fisher says, are we seeing too much coverage of games before launch? There was another 7 minutes of Batman last week.
Oh, right.
I think it goes.
Batman's not done too badly, though, is it? I think
It's not Ubisoft levels, is it? It
Other
went
games
quiet.
are-
I get
for a
what he
while.
means, though. I think a lot of games do kind of, give you too much before it comes out and it takes away the excitement. I think it'd be much better sometimes. Less is more. I know some people that won't watch video game trailers because I think it gives too much away. And I
With
kind of understand
Bloodborne,
it.
a lot of people I follow, and it's a bit of an echo chamber because a lot of them are game journalists and stuff, but they were like, I'm not seeing a single fucking thing about it. I just want to go in there. Because I had Brett going, I had to read all Brett's guides, so...
You're like super duper.
yeah, so feel sorry for me.
No,
people.
I think so. I think especially someone like Ubisoft, who has a marketing plan of 5 p.m. every day, mostly, we will release something new. I get it because it gets people talking about it, but I think it also can go the other way and take something away from your
I think
product.
it'd be good if someone did it. Like, say, Rockstar said they announced like at E3 October 2018, GTA 6 is out, and there's nothing else until it comes out.
Yeah, that's...
Half-Life 3's out tomorrow.
I think there's a lot
Imagine
more avenues to consume news and stuff about games. Like all the big publishers want to have a presence on social media. And,
That's it. You want to be the trending
YouTube.
topic, don't you? So
It used to be just print and maybe you'd see an advert on telly. Like tell your parents to buy a Bone Storm and go to hell.
There's some that's going the other way. Codemasters
how.
now aren't announcing their games till like 3 months before they're out. Like Grid Autosport, I think, was like 3
Really?
months before.
I kind of like
F1
that.
2015.
I kind of like it's the
It works,
waiting
I guess.
that kills you. It would never work because of lead times and advertising and stuff. But I'd love Gabe just going Half-Life 3's out tomorrow.
Dream-
That's all I'm saying about it.
Dreamcast.
Yeah.
It's out right now.
Yeah.
Not Dreamcast. Saturn. Sorry. Yeah.
Everyone in the room just went, "You fucking what, mate?" That's like the biggest blunder. Oh yeah, we're cutting all of our retailers out, and there's no games for it, but it's out
But you
right
can
now.
buy it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Why?
Victor Jones, kind of on the same track as what we just mentioned, says, ooh, did the VG crew read Amiga Power back in the day? Because you guys are basically the new Amiga Power.
Wow, what an honour. That
Well,
is an
I
honour.
read that one for you. I thought you'd enjoy that one.
No, I didn't.
I never read it, so I don't really
You know
know
what?
what it
I
means.
didn't actually read Amiga Power because I didn't have an Amiga because I was a real person. But yeah, I knew, I didn't read it then, but I knew a lot about Amiga Power because a friend of VideoGamer, Ian Dransfield, who's a great guy, loved Amiga Power. He loved it. And while we were working in our previous place, all he would go on about was Amiga Power. And he tried to get elements of Amiga Power into the magazine we worked on. They were obviously removed because they were too much fun. But yeah, so when you... I see what you mean. Like Amiga Power did that amazing thing where after they were threatened to be sued by Team 17, they reviewed Alien Breed 3D 2. And the review is in their very last issue. The review's like 6 pages long, and they just fucking slated it. But they gave it like 92% in the scoreboards just to fuck everyone
I
off.
respect Amiga Power.
So that's where the GIF idea and stuff that we did, the order GIF, like, has its genesis.
Don't take life too seriously.
No.
Rob Scotcher asked, this is a quick one, when are the live events for backers and will there be big tasties at said events? No, there won't be big tasties,
No,
but
there
the
will.
live events are being sorted out as we speak. We'll have more information for you soon. And to finish off the podcast, we have Anna Black 39 who says, what would each of you be doing if you weren't working as video games journalists?
I'll be dead.
And you're going to say it. I'm going to say Burns will be
I'm going to be
dead.
dead. Like, people are like, oh, Steve, you say, you're going to be dead at 40. I will. It's going to be great. I'm out. See ya. Why do you want to be older than 40?
I don't know.
Fuck that
I
shit.
can't answer that question.
But I would, I'd be working for a publisher probably, or dead. They're mainly the same
yeah, I was
thing.
going to say it's the same thing. Dave,
I'll probably be an astronaut.
well, you've got the training done, so you can just
Kerbal
segue
Space
right into
Program.
that.
Yeah. You see?
Would you do the training, or would you just kind of like talk your way
Skip
into
it.
it?
I've done it.
Yeah,
They allow that,
Kerbal
you know.
Space Program,
NASA are like, do you mind piloting this $1 billion craft out of the planet?
it
Like,
costs
yep.
us millions of dollars to launch.
They sent a dog into space, didn't they? Got his own rocket.
That's true.
Or a monkey. What?
Yeah, the monkey, fed it bananas.
So I can't be worse, can I?
Can't argue with that. No, I guess not. Send Dave into space. There we go. Done. Tom,
They're fundamentally different things, but
Some boring IT bollocks.
I think they've asked this before now. I've asked it. Anyway, I'd be a wrestler. I don't know. Who knows? Be a wrestler now, but I'm not. So that's it. That's another episode of the VG podcast.
We can wrestle.
Do you want to wrestle? Now
that
or
you've
later?
said that like that, I'm not sure I do.
I'm well-
in my mind, it was fun.
sorry.
I'm well good. when I
Sorry.
was about 7, I was really
wrestled,
into
Dave?
wrestling. I gave the razor's edge to my friend Kurt and he didn't go onto the grass. He went onto some pavement. I was like, fuck.
Oh, I did that once.
It's like ECW. It was great.
There's a guy called Mark Cam. I think I've told this story, but fuck it, we'll tell it again. Mark Cam at school was doing that thing where, you used to grab somebody's arm and push it right up their back, like behind it. He was doing that so bad I could touch my own neck. And I was like, Mark, he was tiny, this kid. This kid was tiny. I was a bit of a fat kid. And I was like, Mark, if you keep doing this, I will have to take charge because you will break my arm. And everyone was cheering him on, so he was like, this is my moment, Martin McCutcheon playing in his head.
Yeah.
So I picked him up onto my shoulder, and there's a bush in the corner. I thought, throw him on the bush, you win, whatever. Of course, I'm only a little kid, so I went to throw him on the bush, missed the bush entirely, and just watched him career down on his head onto the concrete. And I went to sit in the reception, or whatever it was called. What did you have between? Was it reception you went to? I don't know. I think you had to go back to your form class and get ticked back in or whatever. I went to a bad school.
The showers at my school.
We didn't.
Jeez. We had to go back there and just wait for the deputy headmaster to knock on the door. He just did. I went, yeah, I know. Went with him.
Yeah.
I threw him on his
I
head.
know. Yeah, it was me.
Yeah, bad days. Bad days. So that's it. And we've got any other school stories? We'll just wrap it up. Of course, if you're a Video Gamer Community Club member, you will get a little bit extra. Maybe we'll just talk about school stories.
forgot all about
I
that.
don't know.
Mate, I've got so many fucking awesome school stories.
Well, there you go. So
mainly
if you-
about me being an in-betweener.
If you want to hear about...
In the early days.
I tell you what,
Later
if you want to
days
hear
took
about
over.
Steve Burns being in-betweener, me being chased by nunchucks, and all other kinds of school...
Me being an astronaut.
Dave being an astronaut, if you're not already a $5
My
video
dad's
game...
an alarm timer.
Well, there you go. Listen to the shit you need to listen to in the extended bit of the podcast. If you pay $5 a month, we really appreciate it. You can get it. If not, hey, why not drop $5 and come listen to more video gamer nonsense? But if not, thank you very much for listening to this. And of course, we'll be back in a week's time.
Bye.
Bye. I love you very much.